so lost in the crowd, come find me, take me out. I'm so lost in the crowd, come find me, take me out. I'm so lost in the crowd, come find me, take me out. Come find me, take me out. Come find me, take me out. I'm so lost in the crowd, come find me. What's up, WWE Universe? I'm Juvenile.
And I'm Delinquent.
And we are the PIC. And this is going to be our predictions for the 2015 WWE pay-per-view, the Royal Rumble. We have, like 5 matches scheduled? Well, we don't, but they do. 5 matches scheduled for the event so far?
5 with 1 pre-match.
Alright, we'll start off with the kickoff show first. It's the New Day versus...
Tyson Kidd, Cesaro, and Adam Rose.
First off, I'm a little confused on why Adam Rose and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro have been hanging out so much lately, but we won't get too far into that. Who's your pick? Who do you think's going to win this opening kickoff match?
I'm going for TJ, Cesaro, and Adam Rose.
My prediction was the same. I don't see the New Day picking up the win here. Actually, the New Day's been getting wins over them in single matches and whatnot, so I feel like they'll go ahead and let Cesaro and Tyson Kidd go ahead and pick up the win.
I personally just don't like the New Day. I think their gimmick sucks. I wish they'd just let Kofi Kingston go out and do what he does best, and that's put on great matches.
True that. Hopefully some of these guys make it into the Rumble. We'll get to that later. What's the next match?
Then we're going to start the actual match card for the Royal Rumble. We've got, I'm going to say the first match may more than likely be the New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension.
This is going to be, all this came about after Raw this past Monday, where these guys are, apparently now they're feuding with old tag teams and stuff like that due to the Raw reunion. Either way, my pick's going to be obvious on this one. I'm picking the Ascension.
I'm going to agree with that. And the only reason I'm going to agree with that is because I can't stand old-ass wrestlers coming back and acting like they own the place. Even though I really hate the Ascension, I think the gimmick is stupid, I'm going to have to go with the Ascension.
Yeah, I just don't see them going with the New Age Outlaws wouldn't benefit from it. I see them definitely going with the Ascension on this one.
After that, I think more than likely we're going to see The Miz and Mizdow versus the Uso for the WWE World Tag Team Championships. I'm going to go with the Usos on this one, and that's because I think we might be seeing the end of The Miz and Mizdow.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty much my pick was the same exact thing for this one. The Usos just won the belts not too long ago, and like you said, usually when the Royal Rumble happens, tag teams end up eliminating each other. I can see Mizdow eliminating The Miz and that being the end of their tag team, so I picked the Usos to win as well.
Next, we got Paige and Natalya versus the Bella Twins. I'm going to go with the Bellas, and I know already that your favorite is Paige, but I like her too, but I don't know, she's a little out there, but I'm going with the Bellas. I think they're on a hot streak right now. Of course, you got the Divas champion, so I'm going with the Bellas. Yeah,
Paige is definitely my favorite diva, obviously. She's my favorite. I don't like Natalya at all. Their team doesn't make sense to me. They don't make any sense whatsoever. But I went with the Bellas as well for this one just because, like you said, the Divas champions on their team. And they have more to, them winning means more than Natty and Paige picking up a win. So, by the way, every single match leading up to the main event's tag team matches, which is weird. Some form of variation of tag team match, so.
Unless they put another one on the card, which is likely, but I don't know. Then we have the main event besides the Royal Rumble, and that's going to be Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins versus John Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
This match was the one that I had the worst time. We both had the worst time coming up with who we thought was actually going to win this match.
We'll start it off with how it originally was. I had John Cena picked.
And I had Brock Lesnar picked.
And then we started talking about it a little bit, and then that's where we came in to what we think an outcome could be. So we both stuck with John Cena winning the main event. Then we think Seth Rollins is going to cash in the Money in the Bank against John Cena, which is then going to lead us into the Royal Rumble on who we think is going to win the Royal Rumble, which we'll talk about and explain that later. But setting it up, we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of different variations of how this one could end. You could easily see any of these 3 men walking out with the belt. I thought Lesnar may hold it all the way until WrestleMania. Cena winning's obviously, WWE always can go with Cena during a tough time. And then Seth Rollins cashing in that Money in the Bank and getting the belt could also happen. Anybody could win this one. It's really a tough one to call.
It is. And then we get to the night's main event, the best match throughout the whole year.
My favorite match, his favorite match throughout the whole entire year, the Royal Rumble match.
First, we're going to go with the guys that are originally put in the Royal Rumble from WWE. And we're going to start out with Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, Jay and Jimmy Uso, R-Truth, Damian Mizdow, The Miz, Fernando and Diego, the Matadors, Fandango, Justin Gabriel, Goldust, Stardust, Big Show, Kane, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Bad News Barrett, Roman Reigns, and Rusev.
That's 21 guys that the WWE has already let us know for sure is going to be in the Royal Rumble this year. And then there's 8 spots left for surprise entrants or just people they have not announced yet. We went ahead and predicted which 8 guys we think is going to be taking those spots. So go ahead and tell them which 8 we decided we were going to pick.
The first guy we picked to be in there is Cesaro. And the reason we picked Cesaro is I think Cesaro is a great athletic wrestler, and I think he'd do great. I mean, look, he won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, so
that's a big reason right there to put him in there. So,
and then after that, we got Tyson Kidd, of course. That's Cesaro's new tag team partner. I'm a big fan of TJ, so that's why I threw him in there, and you tagged along with that one as well. Then we got Sheamus. I don't know why Sheamus hasn't already been said he's in there. I mean, he's one of the big guys. He's former U.S. champion, so.
He's former world champion, too.
Yeah. Then we did not know if New Day was going to be involved in the Rumble or not, but we both wanted to throw in Kofi Kingston because of the past 2 Rumbles, what he's done in them, so I figured he could do it again, but at the same time, we were thinking they could leave Kofi Kingston out and let Adrian Neville do some of the cool shit.
Yeah, Adrian Neville being, which is another one of our picks right now, one of these last 8. NXT stars, last year was the first time they put an NXT star in. They let Rusev come along and go up to the main roster by debuting in the Rumble. And had a really impressive showing, and Adrian Neville's the only NXT guy. We love Finn Balor. But
Yep.
Adrian Neville just losing the belt and everything, he's ready to come up to the main roster. I can see him be put in there. Another thing about Kofi, Tyson, and Cesaro that we're confused about is if they're going to end up being used, they have that 6-man kickoff match. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then you got to look at the Usos and
true.
Damian Mizdow and The Miz. They're fighting. They're also in the Rumble, and they're guaranteed to be in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Then we've got, which he's said Adrian Neville. That was one of our picks. We got Luke Harper. I don't know why they haven't already said he's going to be in the Rumble. That's pretty much a given, I would think, even though.
And on SmackDown,
Eric Rowan's not
this
in
is a
there.
spoiler because this Friday hadn't come yet, but they get recorded on Tuesdays. But Eric Rowan did not qualify for the Rumble, but when Harper beat him, it didn't say that Harper qualified either, so I don't know what's happening with them two.
Maybe we'll see them both in there, but I'm going to go ahead and put my neck out there and say Luke Harper's guaranteed to be in the Rumble. Then we've got Bo Dallas. You've heard rumors this is supposed to be a big surprise.
There's been a lot of rumors about him returning. I don't care about Bo Dallas, but I know that he's been cleared to wrestle again from what I read on the internet, and he's supposed to be one of the shoe-ins for a return at the Rumble, so we went ahead and threw him in there.
Boo him. Just everybody just
Boo him.
Next one, we were kind of on the fence. We didn't know what we wanted to do. We know Chris Jericho is supposed to be in the town, so it's either Jack Swagger or Chris Jericho. I haven't seen Swagger. I don't know if he's injured. We tried to look, see. We couldn't find anything out. I don't know. Once again, one of those.
We didn't know where to go here. These were 2 of the ones that we were really confused about because, like he said, Jericho's supposed to be in town for something that same day, and we've seen Jericho do the same thing in the past. When he's in town, he's going to come and be a part of the show. With Jack Swagger, like he said, he hadn't been on Raw in a few weeks. Maybe they're repackaging him or something like that as something new since this whole Rusev thing happened. I guess we'll just have to see on those 2.
And then, of course, one of the big superstars in the WWE. We were both. It wasn't really one of our top picks to wins, but he was in the back of our mind. It could happen. We hadn't seen much from him lately, and that is Randy Orton. He is supposed to be, of course, he's got to be in the Royal Rumble.
He's got to be in the Rumble. Orton making a return is inevitable. He's got to come back. Seth Rollins is the guy that took him out, and he's going to be coming back trying to win this thing, going against the Authority and whatnot. Orton's got to be in this thing, and that's one of the definite surprise entrants I could go ahead and say is going to be in there.
A couple of guys we left out: Rey Mysterio.
Who else did we leave out? I put the Ascension in at one point.
Yeah, we took them out. The other guys from
R-Truth,
New Day.
Big E, Xavier Woods, Mark Henry.
Yeah.
There were other guys that were kind of like honorable mentions we didn't know. Even before we started making this video, we thought about the chances of The Undertaker.
Yeah, that was a big. I don't know. We hadn't heard. So it's kind of hard.
What
to
if Taker returns, costs Lesnar the belt, Rollins cashes in, and then we have Undertaker versus Lesnar. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen, which leads us to who we think is going to win this year's Royal Rumble match.
So, Nick's vote, Juvenile's vote for the Royal Rumble winner. Who are you going for?
I'm going to put all my money on Daniel Bryan winning this whole thing. And, there's only a few people's names that are actually in the pot that people think can win. Roman Reigns being a big one. But this year, I'm going with Daniel Bryan. He had such a big rise last year. He's still riding that yes movement right now since he's returned, and it would give him a lot of momentum to get back to WrestleMania and get back in the title hunt and main event it again. He did great last year.
And I am, of course, going for my man, the Zigzag, Dolph Ziggler. The reason I'm going for Ziggler, I think it would be amazing with Seth Rollins if he cashes in, which I think is a huge possibility if he cashes it in on Cena after winning the main event. That would be a great WrestleMania 31. Seth Rollins, Dolph Ziggler for the world title. I think it would be an amazing match to see.
It would be epic match to see.
I mean, they gave him big pushes. The lone survivor at Survivor Series. He's been main event on Raw, so I could see it. I don't know if WWE's ready to do it, but I could see it.
It's a long shot, but it may happen. I'm actually over Daniel Bryan. I hope that Dolph Ziggler wins. He's one of my favorite guys on the roster as well. But that's every single match.
Who do you least likely want to see the Royal Rumble? I mean,
to win the Royal Rumble? My honest opinion, the guy that I want to see win. I mean, the guy that I least want to see win the Royal Rumble is fucking Roman Reigns.
I agree.
I can't my opinion about Roman Reigns is I understand where Vince and everybody else sees that he can be a top star, but in my opinion, giving him the Royal Rumble wins the same thing they did to Batista last year. He's going to be booed out of the building. Fans are going to reject him because he's not ready for that spot yet.
I agree.
If he main evented WrestleMania and then beat Lesnar, that pretty much says he could have beaten the Undertaker's streak. That's crazy to me. I don't like it at all. I'm not a fan of Roman Reigns.
All right, this is what we're gonna do. We've both got our pick. We've got who we don't want to win. Who would be your secondary pick to win the Royal Rumble? And then we're gonna cut it off there and let you guys put it in the comments. Who do you think's gonna win the Royal Rumble?
We always want to know what you guys think about every single match and what's your predictions as well. If you make YouTube videos, put your link at the bottom of your channel and we'll check your videos out as well. If I had to pick a second guy to win the Rumble, I may actually go with Randy Orton on that one. I'd have to go with Orton. I want to pick Ziggler, but it seems like a long shot to me, and I'm not picking Reigns just because of my personal opinion about him. And Dean Ambrose is a long shot. Bray Wyatt, those guys, they're not ready either. So I'm going to pick Randy Orton for my second pick.
My secondary pick, I guess, it would have to be Daniel Bryan, although this is kind of what in the back of my head I was really wanting to happen is I wanted Cena to win the world title match. I love Cena, but I was hoping Rollins would cash in, then I want John to come in and win the Royal Rumble.
I didn't even know about this thing. Yeah, it could. John Cena's been the surprise entrant back in 2010 or 11 or something like that, and it could definitely happen. As we know, the Royal Rumble's always full of surprises. And we've seen Dolph Ziggler one time lost the world belt and ended up in the Rumble before.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who is in a match and is not the world or champion by the end of the night qualifies for the Rumble. So Seth Rollins could be in the Rumble if he doesn't win. Fucking Lesnar could be in the Rumble. Who knows?
I don't want to see that. But.
I don't. Well, it could happen. Anybody can be in the Rumble. So it's going to be a very exciting night as always.
A couple guys that I would think that, I don't know, because I know you've read it before, I'm sure, is Vince's big thing he wants is The Rock versus Brock at WrestleMania. None of us want to see it because it's obviously going to be a champion that's going to leave again. We don't want to see it. But could The Rock be in the Rumble or could Sting be in the Rumble?
We talked about that a little bit too. Sting is a wild card, man. I don't know. Sting's been popping up everywhere. I think that he's going to have something to do with maybe the main event or something else. I think he's heading towards WrestleMania to face Triple H.
I agree with that, but I don't know. His big thing right now is messing up the Authority, so could Sting win the Rumble? Nobody wants to see it, but, I mean, hey, throw his ass in there.
There's a million different scenarios that make sense. When I picked Randy Orton, I also thought about if Randy does win the Royal Rumble, and then Seth Rollins had cashed in. Rollins is who put Orton out. Perfect Mania main event, Orton versus Rollins there. A lot of different things can work out. Of course, I think that regardless of who wins, Reigns, Ambrose, Bray, Rusev, Ziggler, of course, all going to have really strong showings. They're going to be the guys that last throughout the Rumble, the guys who really put in like the 45-minute matches and whatnot and stay in there pretty much that whole match.
But guys, that is your 2015 Royal Rumble. Our hopes is after the Royal Rumble we can get up a video to tell you what we thought about the Rumble. We may have some extra people to sit in on the panel and tell you what they think as well, but we'll see how it goes.
That's pretty much it, guys. We are going to be, I know we failed last time getting a lot of videos up and whatnot. We had a lot of internet problems, but we're back at it now. And everybody knows the announcement. I'm going to go ahead and say it. WrestleMania 32 will be in Arlington, Texas, less than 6 hours away from us. Me and this guy started our WrestleMania journey together, went to WrestleMania 26 together, and now we're going to go to WrestleMania 32 together. And can't wait. We're going to try to see if we can build this channel up, leading all the way up to there, do some awesome day in the life of videos and everything like that. Either way, we're at 16-minute video already. So
yeah, we're going to cut it.
Peace
guys,
out. Subscribe to this channel.
And like
we're going to be making
and all
videos.
Kinds of shit and comment.
Comment.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. All right. Peace out.